Warning, this episode contains adult language, mature situations, vending machine otaku, super strong girls, random transformation sequences, vending machine customization, and a rather late podcast. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Listener discretion is advised. Episode 466, Reborn as a Vending Machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, some podcasts and vain reviews about connectly enhanced narratives. I'm your host, Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, buongiorno, and what's up? Hope all of you are doing well out there in internet land and hope things have been going good for you. Now, first off, I'd like to apologize. I know that yesterday was Wednesday the 4th, but it is also May the 4th, so May the 4th be with you. For all you Star Wars fans, and since I'm a Star Wars head, I decided to take a day off to do some Star Wars shenanigans, play the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga, and a lot of other things. So this podcast is late by a day. I do personally apologize. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Spiraken, or some podcasts and vain reviews about connectly enhanced narratives, is a nerdy podcast where we talk about various geeky topics depending on the episode you're listening to. Since this is the manga review, obviously we talk about manga. I tell you the art style is, the overarching plot, the characters, the production quality, and most importantly, if it's worth investing your time in or not. You don't have to agree with anything that I and my co-hosts say, but we try to be educational, enlightening, exciting, and most importantly, entertaining. You can find all of our other podcasts and all of our episodes at www.spiraken.com. We're also on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Stitcher, and various other social media sites. Just type in Spiraken in the search bar, and I'll guarantee you'll find us one way or the other. And if you have any questions or comments or concerns, you can email me personally at Zan, that's Xan, at Spiraken.com, tweet me at Spiraken, or if you like what you hear, support our Patreon to help us create more fun content for you to enjoy. I just released a new episode that is specifically for the Patreon listeners, so check that out. And with that in mind, let's actually get to the review of the episode, because if you remember from that last episode, I spun that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga. And it dictated unto me that I'd be reviewing a manga adaptation of a light novel that was written by Hirukuma back in 2016, still coming out. There's 3 light novel editions, but this is the manga adaptation, which is written again by Hirukuma, illustrated by Kunieda, and it's being released over here by Yen Press. You can get it online right now. I don't know if they have the collection ready yet. We're going to find out. The original run of this was April 2021 to present. There's 1 volume out, currently 7 chapters you can actually read if you go to the Yen Press website. And the manga that we're talking about is a fantasy Isekai comedy series known as Jirohanbaki ni Uromakawata Ore wa Mikyu nai Samayo, or Reborn as a Vending Machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon. This manga is the story of an unnamed protagonist who loves vending machines. He is a Japanese vending machine otaku. Now, if you've never been to Japan before, there are tons of vending machines with tons of different things. It's not just it has soda, it has candy. No, you could buy anything. Soup, coffee, drugs, medicinal drugs, not drugs, weaponry. You can get anything, TV, video games, whatever from a vending machine. They're not just for one type of thing. There are tons of them. And this man's life is to try every single vending machine possible because he loves them. He thinks they're beautiful and elegant. And one day as he's looking at a new vending machine, Truck-kun appears and smashes the vending machine instead of him, which is really weird. But he ends up trying to save this brand new vending machine and gets crushed to death by it. But because he was trying to save this machine, he ends up being reincarnated in another world as a vending machine. And unlike other series where he's able to do this or that, no, he's literally a vending machine. He could change the interior. He could eventually transform if he spends life points, but he really can't do anything. He's immobile, and the only speech he has are vending machines phrases like, "Welcome! Too bad! Please come again!" And those are his ability of speech. And he's just kind of sitting there like, okay, this is cool, I'm a vending machine. No one's around, and I could change all the insides. I could change this from water to soup or juice or whatever I want. And as he's sitting there, he notices a monster come up to him, and he's like, "Oh, a monster, my first customer ever, welcome!" And the monster immediately attacks him, and it turns out that he has 1,000 skill points. And when that hits 0, he dies, because he has a damage of 100. So every time he's getting hit and smashed, he has to do something. So he ends up using his skill points to give himself a shield. And he ends up being saved by this girl who sees this weird, mysterious vending machine that kind of talks, is confused by it, and she ends up saving him. He saves her with his force field, that is his one skill, and he ends up charging her 10 of the silver coins she has for juice. And she loves this machine something because the juice is amazing. It's different. It's not the garbage that's in this dungeon. So she ends up liking this machine and calls him Boxo. So Boxo is now her best friend, and she is going to take him back to camp because she's super strong. And it's the story of their life together as Boxo and this girl. Very simple. Her name is Lamis. She's this hunter girl who has the skill known as the Blessing of Might, which gives her superhuman strength. And she ends up cleaning Boxo, and Boxo's her friend. Like, she sees people trying to scam Boxo, she gets mad for him. And they eventually figure out a way to communicate where one thing means yes, another thing means no, and that's what it does. And this is all the manga is. Now, note, as of this time, there's only 7 chapters available. So we get the initial story, then we get her bringing him back to town, and then we have this story about there's a huge fight with a giant monster, and they want Boxo to be essentially the ration or kitchen aid for this group that's traveling. And it's different. I'm not going to lie. It's very different. It sucks that it's only 7 chapters right now, but 3 light novels are currently available from Yen Press, so if you want to read more into the story, you can check that out. I have to admit, though, I was very engaged with this because this is very different. It's not he's a slime, he could walk around, or he's something. He's literally an inanimate object that could talk. That's it. And he can't even communicate properly. He could say 7 set things from the sound recordings for this vending machine. That's all he could say. And it makes it a very interesting communication barrier between him and Lamius. And more importantly, it's a weird setup that's just unusual and strange. And the fact that it's a comedy Isekai makes it work really well. I do like the fact that he has a health bar, that he needs to get people to buy stuff from him or else he is going to die, because every minute he spends costs like a 1/10 of a point, because that's his electricity. And once that electricity goes to 0, he's done. But he's given all these different abilities. Like, the more money he gets, the more he can do. Like, he could change up the interior. So at night, I'm going to serve alcohol. During the day, I'm going to serve a pack of noodles. All these different things and all these different attachments. And he could change into, okay, now he has a water dispenser. Now he has gives away candy, and he's shaped like a candy vending machine. Changes up completely. It says that eventually he'll be able to get transformation, so he could maybe turn into a robot, or maybe he'll get more of a voice packet, but we don't know for right now. And that's what this is about. And I gotta say, it's engaging, and it's not just the typical, it's the same joke over and over again, because there is more going on. You have the fact that Lamis's friend is a witch who kind of could help him out, but we don't meet her yet because they have this whole big thing where there's an invasion coming and they have to deal with this situation. But eventually we're going to meet this other individual, and maybe we can find out what happened and how he got this blessing of being a vending machine. Maybe he'll be able to talk. We don't know. Boxo is a very interesting character, even though we don't know anything about him. We don't know his real name. We don't know what his life was like. We just know he was a guy who was obsessed with vending machines, and he died getting smushed by a vending machine. The rest of his life is the things going on in this dungeon. And I've got to say, it does make this very different. Now, art style, it's very similar to the art that's on the cover for the light novel. Boxo looks like a vending machine. He doesn't have eyes. Like, on the cover, you see him with a pair of eyes, but he really doesn't have eyes. He has omniscience, so he could see all around him, so he's able to tell when someone's sneaking up on him. But no peripheral vision, no face, nothing like that, just a vending machine. Meanwhile, Lamis is drawn like a very sexy, scantily clad girl. And that's what she is. She's a stupid, strong girl who's known to be the hunter girl who's helping out around town and fixing things and just kind of trusting. But if you try to hurt her friend, she gets very mad and angry. So I could see there being a weird romance. I hope that isn't where it goes, but I could see that happening. So I want to give this a couple more chapters before I officially say I love it or hate it, because it seems really engaging, and while it is the same joke over and over again, it could do something different later on. We're going to have to wait and see, because there is more subplots that are set up for later. Now, I will say this is going to get points taken away from it because of the fact you only have 7 chapters. That's it. And the next chapter is going to be in a month, so it's once a month we get a chapter. Kind of like a regular comic book from the US, so you could say that's interesting, but I feel like I want to know more of what's going on. So I may pick up the light novels to see where this goes, but for right now, I'm going to have to give this a rating of borrow from a friend and don't return unless offered Pocky. It's really invigorating and different, despite the fact that it is so similar to so many of these non-human isekais where it's, I turned into blank, now I do this. So I was turned into a goblin, now I run the goblin village, or I turned into reincarnated as a sword, so now I'm going to help this girl get stronger. A lot of these are the same, but this one just does something very different. I think it's the weirdness of it being a vending machine instead of it being a sword or a slime or a monster. I'm not sure. If you've read this, what are your thoughts? Let me know what you think. Did you like this? Did you not? I'm curious, because this is such a weird concept. And personally, I want to see this as an anime just because it is so insane. Because it's a vending machine. It's not a skeleton knight or a goblin slayer or anything else. It's just, he's a vending machine. He can't do anything. And once he gets his shield, that's the only thing protecting him. And he's going to die eventually. So, yeah. I don't know. Gonna have to see how this goes and if they're able to explore this entire dungeon that is the world. But gonna have to wait and see. Let me know your thoughts. So with that in mind, let's actually get to the manga releases of the week. And these came out on Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. So that was 2 days ago. And this week we've got some really good ones, including a Star Wars release. So from the top, we've got Battle Angel Alita 6, the re-release, being released in paperback. We have Berserk of Gluttony, Volume 6, Blackguard, Volume 2, Blue Exorcist, Volume 2, Boruto, Naruto Next Generation, Volume 14. You have The Classroom of the Elite Year 2 light novel, Volume 1 coming out, Cutie and the Beast, Volume 4, Don't Tour With Me, Miss Nagatori, Volume 11, Dr. Stone, Volume 21. I think we're getting to the end of Dr. Stone, which is, well, it's kind of bittersweet. I know the last chapter came out. So officially, we're getting the last chapter released over here soon. I think there's a couple more left, but it's going to be bittersweet when that series ends. I hope we get a sequel. Anyway, Drugstore in Another World, The Slow Life of a Cheat Pharmacist, light novel, Volume 5. His Majesty, the Demon King's Housekeeper, Volume 1. I Am Not a Succubus, Volume 1. Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, Volume 1. Magical Girl Spec Ops Asuka, Volume 14. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid Ella's Office Lady Diary, Volume 5. Mushoku Tensei Roxy Gets Serious, Volume 7. Ode to Kirihito, the manga is coming out. Also, Apollo Song is coming out next week. So if you are a fan of Osamu Tezuka, the full omnibus editions are coming out. The first one is the Ode to Kirihito. Then next week we're getting Apollo Song. So yeah, definitely check this out if you haven't had a chance to it. I know I have not reviewed this on the podcast, but this is one of those ones I picked up because it is so unique. I have Volume 2 I got from Cheap Manga at a con, and then I picked up Volume 1 by hunting for it. So if you haven't got those yet, or if you want to just double dip, though Kirihito came out. We have One Piece Volume 99, one away from Volume 100, 1,000 chapters. Can you believe it? For One Piece? Holy shit. We have Parallel Paradise Volume 10, the manga. Prince Freya Volume 6. Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling, the manga, Volume 3. Sailor Moon Volume 1, the Naoko Takeuchi Collection manga. This is not the Eternal Edition. This is a smaller release. And it looks really cool that they're re-releasing Sailor Moon with this new collection. It's the same one, but it looks a lot nicer. I think it's an omnibus of the first 2 volumes. Gonna have to check it out if you are a Sailor Moon fan. But anyway, digress. She Professed Herself Pupil of the Wise Man, the manga, Volume 5. Next one is Star Wars Leia, Princess of Alderaan, Volume 2. If you haven't read this, this is the story of Princess Leia before she ended up on the Tentative 4 in Star Wars A New Hope. So this is her becoming the Princess of Alderaan and all that she had accomplished before that fateful day when she got a hold of the plans of the Death Star. You have Survival in Another World with My Mistress, Volume 1. The Ancient Magus Bride, Wizard's Blue, Volume 4. The King Beast, Volume 6. And then finally, the last manga of the week is When Will Ayumi Make His Move, Volume 5. So those are the releases for the week. Which ones are you most excited for? For me, the ones I'm most excited for are Ancient Magus Bride, Star Wars, Sailor Moon, Otakira Hito, Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, Dr. Stone, and then surprisingly Berserk of Gluttony and Alita. Because Berserk of Gluttony, I've been hearing a lot of good things about. I'm eventually going to read this. And Battle Angel Alita, it's Battle Angel. So yeah. So those are the releases of the week. Which ones are you most excited about? Which ones are you going to check out? And which ones are you horrified by? Let me know. Email me, zan@spiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken with your thoughts on the list. Also, random question of the week. If you have not been checking out our show notes, we always put a random question of the episode. And this week's random question is going to be, if you had to be turned into one inanimate object, what would your inanimate object be? I don't know what mine would be. I really don't, because there's so many cool things that I could be. But some of them are like, I'm really worried that I would not want to be like, I want to be a phone, because phones are kind of gross and a lot could happen with a phone. Or do I want to be a book? Reincarnated as a book? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. But what are your thoughts? Let me know. So we're almost at the end of the episode. I'd like to thank all of you for joining in and listening as well. I appreciate each and every one of you. Every comment I see, every email I get gives me just more motivation to keep doing this podcast. And I love doing this. I love releasing new episodes, talking about different manga, and giving recommendations. I'm so excited to keep doing this. I'm going to do this until I'm an old man who has to read manga with thick glasses in large print. So thank you. And to my Patreon members, like I said, I'm releasing a new episode. Check it out on Patreon. And if you want to join our Patreon, there's 2 Patreons actually, at podbean.com/Spiraken/Patreon. And then there's patreon.com/Spiraken. You can check out each of them. Join the one that you like, and there's tons of really good content on there. So, with that in mind, before I forget, one final thing. Definitely in 3 weeks' time, yes, 3 weeks, I will be at Anime Boston. Yes, I'm a feature panelist there. You could actually look at the link online for a feature panelist, and you actually see me at the end. It's got me and a picture of me in a blue suit looking awesome. It's also hyping up all of the amazing panelists who are going to show up. We have Charles Dunbar, Erica Friedman, who just wrote her new book, which I think is By Your Side, the first 100 years of Yuri anime and manga. It's coming out June 2022 from Journey Press. You can check that out on our website. George Horvath is going to be there. Haru Mena is going to be there. And, of course, yours truly. So, kind of cool with that. And I'm excited to see what's going on there. And if you are going to be at Anime Boston, I have a tentative schedule for you. This isn't going to be completely correct. I will give you updates as it's coming through. But for right now, here is what the schedule is going to be right now, what's looking like. On Friday at 11 a.m. in one of the panel rooms, it's going to be the featured panelist round table, which I'm very excited about. Next, you're going to have Cats, Dogs, and Everything in Between, manga series for animal lovers. This is on Friday at 1:30 in one of the big rooms. I'm excited for this one. This one I'm working really hard on to make as good as it can be. Then May I See the Wine List, Liquor in Anime and Manga. This is my panel where we talk about the different types of liquor that are shown and just the love of spirits that so many mangas and animes have, from things as slight sight gags to something as amazing as Bartender, where we show how liquor is made, how the different drinks are made. Gotta check that out. 21 plus for that one, though. Then on Saturday, we have A Whole New World, Isekai series. That's going to be around 2:30 p.m. I'll give you the room when I officially know that. Then, of course, at 6:30 in the big room, we have that one, that only, the Insane Manga Challenge, Master Chef Edition. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Insane Manga Challenge, how it works is it is my game show where I give away lots of manga if you know manga trivia. How it's going to work is you get to choose 3 topics. If you get all 3 of them right, you win stuff. If you don't, ooh, well, too bad. That's how it's going to work. I've got 29 different topics. It's going to be a blast. I don't know how long it's going to be, though. Going to have to wait and see. Anyway, and then finally, for Saturday, we have From Inside the Pantry, horror in anime and manga, if you like horror manga. And then on Sunday, around 10:30 a.m., finally, my last panel, which is 22 culinary manga recommendations for grown-ups. My 22 manga recommendations is going to be that one. I've done this panel before, but I've added 2 new series on there, so if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. I'm going to be posting a bunch of other notes, so that is the panels for Anime Boston. Which ones are you most excited for? Let me know. email me, zanspiraken.com, tweet me at Spiraken, or if you're on the unofficial Anime Boston Discord, I've been commenting on there trying to get some information for the Insane Manga Challenge for some new categories. So hit me up there with some ideas. Also, I'm posting stuff on Twitter. Check it out. So remember to like, share, subscribe, and with that in mind, let's get to that part you've all been waiting for. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, the Wheel of Manga, except no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. What I've done is I've assigned a manga title to each of the 10 slots. So we're going to spin this Wheel of Manga. Whatever number and slot it lands on, the manga that's in that title is the one I'm going to review in the next episode, episode 467. That is going to be it's 34 away from episode 500, give or take. No, 33. 33 away from episode 500. I know my math is terrible today. I'm kind of tired, but I digress. So let's see what we're going to review in the next episode because I am excited to review some more manga. Number 3. So in the next episode, I'm going to be reviewing a manga that is titled I Cannot Reach You. What is it about? I don't know. But we're going to find out in the next episode. So with that in mind, I guess that's it for it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Check out our other episodes on the podcast where we have the Spiraken Book Corner review, which is a bullet train. We have the new episode where we're going to be talking about Moon Knight in Zan's Extraordinary Superhero Examination for the entire series. We've got a couple of mini movie reviews and a couple other really fun things. So check them out. Remember to like, share, subscribe. As usual, I've been your host, Zan. I'm Gonzville. Catch you guys next time. And keep reading manga. I'll see you later.